Are you being a ham now? I got Frankie February 7th, 2012. She was actually, she was very calm when I adopted her. I got her at the SPCA, and like typically dogs are nothing like how they actually are, which I did not know. And she came right up to me and just laid on my feet. Girl. Me and my sister and my mother had gone to the grocery store to pick up a cake for my birthday. And we were gone maybe 20 minutes. And when we came back, like my house was like erupted into chaos. And my nephew was on the floor screaming with his mother holding him. And then my brother approached me and he told me in like a very calm voice that he beat my dog. My friends called me to come back, so like, your dog is acting really funny. And she was hiding underneath my desk and just peed herself and was just shaking like uncontrollably. And that's kind of how it started, and then just like totally progressed. It was her constantly growling and barking at people. She also was growling and barking at me. So I got scared of her and didn't want to take her out of her kennel ever. So it got pretty bad pretty fast. I would just break down and just cry and cry and cry because I didn't know how to fix it. There would be incident after incident, or she'd be doing very well for quite some time and then bite somebody. And I would always kind of like, well, I did this much and why isn't that enough?
Good. Good job. But yeah, when we first took Frankie, she's probably one of the most dangerous dogs that I've ever taken in at first. For the first couple days, she was trying to like bite at faces. That's a big deal, like trying to bite at somebody's face. So yeah, it's pretty traumatizing what she went through. So she was definitely, and it was like a panic sort of thing, like not even conscious. Her eyes and her pupils would be like this big, and she'd just be like super freaked out. And even with a muzzle, she would like jump up and she'd make direct eye contact at you and then jump up and try and get your face. My name is Cambry Egan. I am a dog trainer, and I've owned a dog walking and pet sitting business for over 10 years. The guys that come and see me are not your regular run-of-the-mill dogs. They're the ones who like to solve problems with teeth, and a lot of trainers don't want to get involved in that. I really like the really bad dogs. They're the ones that need the most help. They're the ones that a lot of trainers won't even touch. They won't even try and help. And so there was a huge need for it. I knew I wanted to work with aggressive dogs. I know I need a challenge. I don't want to teach a dog how to sit and spin. Not challenging for me. I'm not walking on eggshells trying not to get bitten by a dog. That's not my job, you know? My job is to put dogs in situations that I know they'll be exposed to and that they think are stressful, and we teach them appropriate ways to deal with stress and what's inappropriate. Nope, down. Good. So I need to create a stopgap in between the impulse to protect themselves and the act of protecting themselves. So like what I do is try and create a window in between those two things to then redirect the dog. We give them, you know, commands that are incompatible with the behaviors that they're exhibiting. So, you know, if your dog has issues with the door, we do a lot of like down stays because you can't stay in a down and also charge the door. If they know they can't get up until you release them, instead of being focused on the stimuli, they're focused on you. It's called permission-based training, and that's a lot of what we do. All she has to stay focused on is me and where she's supposed to be. It's just a safe way to deal with stress. And when you do this long enough and when you practice it long enough, you'll have a dog that will self-soothe. They'll see something that makes them nervous and they'll go and lay down on their bed. They can see it and observe it, but in a disconnected way, not as in like, the mailman's here, I gotta get the mailman. It's like, oh, the mailman's here. He makes me kind of nervous. I better go lie down. Understanding what makes a dog calm and balanced, that's lacking. And people need to know it. And I feel like we kind of owe it to the dogs too. A lot of people, when their dogs are upset, they pet them. But that's not how dogs process stuff. So there's no point in a dog's life would another dog come and pick them up and like kiss them on the face and like make all these high-pitched noises. Like that would never happen. So what ends up happening is like people give affection and to try and soothe them, and essentially what they tell them is, you're right, you should be nervous. This is nervous. This is a nervous experience. You don't know these people. You're right. That's good, you know? So completely unintentional, but people just give their dogs the wrong signals. I feel like it's only fair that there's somebody out there who's trying to get through the dogs that don't understand human rules and that like will essentially die because of it. I could spend 5 years teaching a dog English, or I can spend 2 weeks teaching a human dog. All I can really do is to try and explain to them about what a dog needs. And then it's up to you, whether you decide to, whether the relationship you have with your dog is one that makes you feel better or if it's one that makes your dog feel better. For people, if they have the right spirit and they come to me in a place of like, I need guidance and I just need somebody to tell me like what is going on and to guide me through it, those are the people that we see the most success. Like those are the ones that come, like Frankie here, whose owners just turn them around into amazing dogs. Thank you. Good girl.
I think every relationship I would have would end because of my dog. There was 3 that did in the past. Kind of felt like I would either be destined to be alone, me and Frankie, until the end, you know? So yeah, I mean, I definitely think like it was kind of life and death. Now, like, everything's so much better. She's got attitude, it's for sure. It's a cute attitude. It's not like a cure-all, like the training isn't just everything's fixed. She still has a trauma, the events still happen to her, but we know how to maneuver around it now, which is very freeing. This is actually her on my arm, and it's her turning into a dragon. And I always call her my dragon because she protects me. But I don't think I would know unconditional love otherwise.
Very sweet. It was important to me to help people on a human level. That was really my job. Of course, it's to train dogs, but it's really to help the humans and the dogs get on the same page. Over time, I just realized that this is a gift that I have. It's not everybody can do this, and it's not something that comes natural to most people. And for whatever reason, it does for me. So, yeah. You don't often get a job where everybody wins. All I do is I just help people and help their dogs. And I think it's invaluable to bring people together, so I love it.